Hey guys, I'm back with another Batmobile. This time we're going to be looking at another unusual design of the Batmobile. This is the Eaglemoss model of the Batmobile from Batman number 555. Now, your eyes do not deceive you. This is basically the Bat Hummer. And it's not too surprising that Bruce Wayne would actually be able to afford a gas-guzzling vehicle like this one. And Batman does end up using it for a very specific purpose in the story. Batman 555 is from a series of books that dealt with the aftershock from the crossover event Cataclysm. Now, the Cataclysm storyline was one of three major Bat family crossover events that led up to the penultimate No Man's Land series. Each one, Contagion, Legacy, and Cataclysm, they all deal with a major catastrophe that hits Gotham City. And as the name suggests, Cataclysm has to do with this earthquake that just rocks Gotham. And in the book, Wayne Manor is situated right next to the fault line in Gotham, so when the mansion is destroyed, it basically comes crashing in on the Batcave. Batman is actually in the Batcave when this happens, and there are a few harrowing moments when he's trying to survive the destruction that's going on around him. With Aftershock, issue 555 starts off with Batman and Robin trying to figure out how they're going to get out of the Batcave. One of the ways that the dynamic duo attempts to move some of the rubble and boulders blocking the exits of the cave is by chaining the debris to a couple of Batmobiles. Fortunately, one of the surviving Batmobiles is this monster Bat Hummer that is sort of ideal for this kind of all-terrain situation. So let's get to the magazine because it gives us a nice overview of the story and it shows us some images from the book. And this particular magazine also has some nice artwork from the folks at Eaglemoss. This opening section has a synopsis of how this Batmobile fits in with the Cataclysm storyline. It has a couple more cool digital renderings of the model here. The blueprints for this magazine are pretty basic. It's just a simple outline of the body of the car. Of course, we have the list of schematics and special features. To me, the highlight of this magazine is the cross sections. They're a little different from some of the other magazines. They give us these blow-up, almost deconstructed sections, and all three images are very detailed. Each cross-section gives you a great breakdown from different angles and different points of view. It's very cool. And finally, the back chapter tells us a little bit about what was going on in the Bat universe back in 1998. It seems like for several years, all of the Bat books had these major crossover storylines, like Cataclysm. Again, all of these stories were leading up to the setting in No Man's Land. Taking a look at the diorama, it's an image of the Batmobile in front of the destruction of Wayne Manor. Let's take a look at the base first this time because it's pretty simple. It's just painted green, like the grass in front of the manor, and there's a line of another shade of green along the front. But the image on the 3D lenticular is great. It's not a recreation of a specific panel in the book, but it is based on several images that show Wayne Manor crumbling during the earthquake. There are different layers, like the clouds in the background, the image of the destruction of Wayne Manor in the center, and the trees on the sides. They really add to that 3D effect. You know, I love those dioramas of the Batmobile in the Batcave, but I also like these dioramas that kind of tell a story, or at least they show us an image that makes you curious about the story. And this one really shows how the Batmobile fits in with the Cataclysm and the Aftershock storylines. So let's take a closer look at this model in the Batcave. It's another model that is primarily one solid piece of die-cast metal, and of course there are a few plastic accents throughout. And check out the sculpting detail on the silver exhaust pipes on the side. It's pretty cool. And then you have these layered accents on the front with the orange and white gel lights and the bumper, the grille. Those are all separate pieces. And you know, it's a simple thing, but you also have the sculpted lines of the doors that gives it that trademark military Hummer design. The door handles are sculpted also, and those are painted silver. There's actually some sculpting detail in the plastic plate on the bottom. You don't always see that with these Eaglemoss Batmobiles. The back end, it has these red tail lights that are added on. And something else you get with this Batmobile that's not in every Eaglemoss model is the detail inside the cabin or the cockpit. There's a little reflective piece on the rear view mirrors. And inside you can see the steering wheel there. You know, it's very small, so it's hard to see, but you have the bucket seats in the front, and there is a row of back seats as well. I like the windshield wipers on the front too. It's a nice touch. And of course you have this ginormous bat symbol painted on the top, and that is very accurate to the design that we see in the comic, along with the expected bat logos on the hubcaps of the tires. I want to do a side-by-side comparison with this Batmobile from 555 along with the Batmobile from Batman 575. Now, I mentioned earlier that Batman and Robin used two different vehicles in the Cataclysm story in order to try and clear out some of the rubble that's blocking their exit in the Batcave. Now, Batman drives this Hummer, and Robin is in the more traditional Batmobile. It's a really cool scene where they're both sort of desperately trying to clear the way and go and rescue some citizens who are trapped in this train station underground. Now, this isn't the exact Batmobile from the book, but it is the closest model that I have. And actually, this model from Eaglemoss issue number 7 is the Batmobile that is eventually revealed in the No Man's Land story. It's great to see this design of the Bat Hummer next to one of the more traditional Batmobile designs. And this Batmobile is a great example, another great example, of the variety of Bat vehicles in the more than 75 years of Batman's history. Eaglemoss does a great job of giving us this variety, you know, of showing us some of these unusual models, as well as some of the old Batmobiles, some of the flying vehicles, some of the futuristic Batmobiles, and of course some of the new and current models of the Batmobile that we see today. In closing, this is a great model of a very unique design of the Batmobile. It's another example of why I love this Eaglemoss line so much. You know, I love the variety, and I love researching these Batmobiles. It's a great history lesson, and it's a great way for me to discover new Batman books. I want to say thank you again to all of my old and new subscribers. Now, I know I don't post videos that often, and it's actually been quite a long time since my last video. And despite that, I still managed to receive a few new subscribers every week, so thank you. Thank you to all of my viewers, and thank you to all of my subscribers. Of course, I want to give special thanks to my great friend Stewart Murray for always helping me out with my Batmobile collection. I really appreciate it. So, we have been looking at the Eaglemoss Batman Automobilia issue number 69, the Batmobile from Batman 555. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.